need to pull it, and you know, health department will tell you not to, you know, they tell you to cook it to a certain degrees. But if you cook them to those certain degrees, they turn out like shoe leather. But if you remember, we are transporting all of our food. So if we undercook them just a bit so that when they're transporting, they're still cooking a little bit inside, and they're still nice and pink when we get to our
When you
events.
put them in from the oven being hot, they're still cooking? What do you mean? Or do you have something that you put them in?
We put them in a warming unit, which
Okay.
it's just a insulated carrier, basically, is what it is. But it holds heat so well, you only lose 4 degrees in 4 hours.
Really?
So it really does keep your food hot. So if you remember probably the catering event that you went to, our food was still hot when you ate
Yes, your
it.
food was still hot. When she picked it up, you could see smoke come out of some of it.
We're very
Yeah.
careful with planning that.
Because it's awful to have cold food out.
Yes.
Because you like to sit at the table and you're running your mouth anyway, and you go back to take a bite, it's already ice cold.
Yes.
You're a super lady.
Well, thank you. You are too.
Oh, thank you, because I like the stuff that you have. I want to ask you this. What is the greatest ingredient in a chocolate chip cookie, other than chocolate, type of chocolate?
Greatest ingredient.
Don't give away your perfect secret now, because I don't want to do that to you. The best
Butter.
Butter. Okay, butter is the real butter, 100%.
Real butter. That's your secret in your baking. You
And
know.
everything you bake?
Pretty much.
Oh.
Real butter. We use real butter, real cream. You know, I started actually trying to come up with fat-free or less fat.
That doesn't taste good, does it?
And no, and people didn't pick up on it. I spent a lot of time developing these low-fat menus for catering and things like that. No takers. People want, you know, the fried chicken, the homemade mashed potatoes with the gravy, and those type of things.
I was just up in West Virginia with my husband, David. We were up there well, we had our Thanksgiving down here on Thursday. We were up there on Saturday. And his daughter, Michelle, made an apple pie. The first apple pie that I've ever had homemade. The thing was just, the apples must have been this high. I'm not lying to you. And then when she put the cover over it, I call it the blanket, but it's a crust, and baked it, that was the best damn apple pie I ever had in my life.
Probably her apples. Your apples make a
Oh,
difference
yeah, because
in
she was
that.
out there peeling apples. You don't know for how long.
But depends on what kind of apples, because some make good pies and some don't. So your
I
apples
don't know
are
what kind they
secret
were,
there.
but she did that homemade pecan and pumpkin and cherry. And I thought, here I've been on this earth this time. I wouldn't even know how to begin to make a real damn pie. I wouldn't.
Well, we need to have classes.
Yes, that's what you got to do
need to
next. You
have
got to
cooking
teach
classes.
cooking classes. Because I want to learn how to make that apple pie. Everybody's saying, oh, there's got too many apples. It's going to be dried out and hard. But it was juicy because I guess when the heat hits the apples.
Well, it's funny.
soft.
It's funny that you say that, because that was one of my challenges when I was younger and learning how to cook when I was growing up at home. And my mother always made these perfect pies, and I would say, "How do you get the crust so perfect?" And she said, "Well, every time I was mad at your father, I would practice making a pie."
Why?
So all my free time I spent practicing pies so that I could get my crust.
So you must be mad all the time then.
I was younger.
Okay.
I don't have time to be mad anymore.
Right. But it's the way you cook your apples and stuff like that, huh? And these were
It's
real
the kind
cherries.
of apples, yes.
Because I had a little piece yesterday and bit into it, and it was a, what do you call it, the cherry? What's the little thing in the cherry? Cherry
The
seed?
pit?
Yes. And I bit into it, and it really hurt.
Oh yeah,
But,
should have been pitted.
It should have been pitted, I guess, okay. And even the pecan pie was the same way. And it wasn't all this gooky sweet stuff. You could taste the fresh fruit. And maybe I ought to send her to work with you.
I'm telling you. Now, see, my pecan pies, I think the
How do you do
secret to
that?
a pecan pie is, you know how you buy them in the store and they have the halves and they look really pretty, but they have this big, thick, gooey stuff that's at the bottom. I don't personally like that. I chop my pecans and make sure that my crust is full of pecans, and then I pour this mixture on it. So you get a great mixture of the two together, and it is wonderful.
But how do you get the stuff off the back of the pecans?
Off the, oh, you mean, oh, I don't buy them whole.
Okay.
I buy them shelled.
Okay.
No, I don't have time for that.
No, you
that
spend all your
takes
time
so
cracking nuts.
long, yes.
You're
No, wouldn't have time to do that.
And what about cherry? Do you buy the pitted cherries?
We do. We actually buy, if we're making a fresh cherry pie, we buy the pitted cherries. And you can get all of that from your food vendors.
Really? They're probably more expensive here than up there, though. I don't know. Because it's a small town.
Cherries are very expensive. But
Yeah.
again, we're not bakers. So if we're doing pies, we're doing them for a catering event. So it's really not the main part of our
It's
business.
not the main part of your business. Your food line is the main part of your business.
Correct.
How many things do you have a month, do you think?
How many events?
Yeah, events.
Oh, it really, again, it depends on the month. Catering is very cyclical. So in other words, the fall and the spring and of course Christmas time are very, very busy seasons. We'll slow down January, February, and March. I would say in our busy season, well, just to give you an idea for next week, I was just working on the schedules for next week. On one day we have 6 events. In the same
6
day.
events. Oh, how long do you stay?
We'll be there all night. We a lot of times stay up all night and work all night. So we just do that when we have to. Because especially this day and age, you got to take what you can take.
Yeah.
So if it means we stay up all night, we just stay up all night. But we're closed the week after Christmas, so we all get to rest.
Okay. And then when do you start back up again? January?
And then we start back in January.
With 6 events, what are things you're going to be doing? Weddings?
Let's see. No. We only actually have the one wedding in December. It's not a big wedding month. Mostly holiday parties. A lot of pickups. You know, people will pick up. That's why I say when we're creative, we might be delivering food for an office party instead of serving that office party like we used to. We'd be delivering it.
Oh my goodness! So they you take it in. They have to do it themselves.
Well, we set it all up. So it's great. You can have a catered event and not have to have a server and that additional cost. We'll come in, we'll set everything up, and then we leave.
Do you furnish the dishes and everything?
We do.
Plastic?
Plastic. Disposables on a drop-off. Some jobs require china if we're doing a served event.
What about a wedding? You would have to have china there?
Depends on what they want. Depends on the pricing. We do everything from throwaway acrylics to china service. All depends on pricing and what people can afford. We do a lot of outside events. Being an off-site caterer, like we might work at a park or work in someone's yard, or at these bed and breakfasts under a tent. And then most of the people do choose the throwaways for those events. But we use a high-quality acrylic. There's some beautiful things on the market now.
Acrylics?
Acrylics that look just like china, with the silver rim around it or the gold rim around it.
Not the old paper plates, hon.
No.
Put your food on, pick it up, and it goes right to the crack.
And even the silverware now, even the
You're
disposable
kidding.
silverware looks like silver. It's silver.
What about the napkins?
I've had people trash dive all the time thinking they're retrieving it. Linen-like disposables.
Oh, those big, wide napkins?
Yes, the big napkins that feel like linen, and they're real sturdy. They don't break and disintegrate. Nice products out there now on the market. And a lot of greenware. A lot of greenware for, you know, and the greenware actually is made of corn or, you know, healthy products that will disintegrate right into the ground and not cause anything to the economy and ecology. And you can get the silverware that you eat off of, greenware, and you can get the cups and the plates. Well, we use those for a lot of our picnics.
I'll be darned.
So if something gets left in the ground, it's not going to hurt the ground.
So it just disintegrates as it goes down into the dirt. I have a couple of questions, but I don't want to ask you, but I don't want to get on the air. I'll ask you when we go off the air.
Okay.
Because I don't want anything to mess up your business. What would you like to leave us with today? What would you really like to leave all my viewers today about you, about your food?
If you want to, if you have a love of cooking and you want to start a catering business, it takes a lot of challenges to do it and a lot of time. But if you really have the heart for it, you definitely can do it. And if you like entertaining and you don't feel like spending the time to do it, or you don't have the time to cook or anything, call us. We'd be happy to help you.
Our time is almost, I could talk to you for another hour.
Well, thank you.
I want to thank everyone today for watching, and I hope you've got some ideas. And if you need cooking, call Diane. Call Debbie. She's great. Just give Debbie a call. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Thank you.